Well, hello there. I must say that intro video was quite long and quite boring. I don't think I'm going to be using that one again. I'm not going to do it. Hello, everybody. Well, for those of you that are watching live and for those of you that will be watching on the replay, I wanted to host this, whatever one wants to call it, this presentation based off of an experience that I had that was very powerful to me. I went to a 2-day event that would cost me $5,000. There was 15 people in the room, and it was called Murder the Objection. And it was hosted by the king of webinars, Jason Fladlien, who is the most successful person selling through webinars of all time. He holds the world record for the biggest launch ever, about $60 million, and he is what we call the GOAT. And he said something that really hit me to the core. He said, whatever you do, make sure you are building your frameworks. Now, I didn't really understand this at the time, but everybody else in the room did. I was the only person in the room that was not making or earning at least $1 million per year. And I asked him, I said, Jason, what do you mean when you say build your framework? He said, I want you to think about the process that you have taken yourself and the process that you take your clients through. I said, yes, sir. I said, okay, well, what about them? He says, what I want you to do is I want you to begin to document step by step those processes that you take your clients through. I said, okay. Well, about a day went by. I'm sitting next to my partner, my friend. His name is Ben Robinson. He owns a company called bookkeeping.com. They do about $8 million a year. And I started to tell him, Ben, what I do is I specifically help business owners craft and deliver stories that enable them to attract their customers and to close more sales. And he said, Devin, have you ever heard of Perry Belcher? I said, no, sir, I never heard of Perry Belcher. And what he did is he whipped out this framework that Perry had given him, and it was laminated and it was colorful and it was beautiful. And I said, whoa. And he said, Devin, you should do something like this, where you outline your framework on a laminated piece of paper and you can hand it out to people at events. You can teach off of it. You can go online and teach off of it. Endless opportunity. Give it away for a lead magnet, sell it low ticket. I said, wow, that's interesting. And what did I do? I took action on it and I created my own frameworks. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share these frameworks with you. And of course, they're all about storytelling. And there's 4 frameworks that I'm going to share with you, and they go in order. See, the thing is in order for you to master the art of storytelling, in order for you to scale your business fast, because now you have the ability to communicate persuasively, well, the first thing you have to do is you have to have the ability to do what? Understand the core elements of a phenomenal, powerful, transformative, and a story that sells. So what did I do? Well, I said, okay, what is my framework that I take my client through? Process. Then I created the Ultimate Storytelling Formula. And if you look up at the top left, you can actually download the Ultimate Storytelling Formula where it says download mine. You could just scan your phone or whatever the case may be, or go to ultimatestorytellingformula.com if you want to download it. But what did I do? I created my framework comprised of 7 steps. This is what I call the 7 C's to storytelling. And by you understanding and implementing each of these C's, you will understand and master the fundamental principles of storytelling. I'm not talking about any type of storytelling. I'm talking about the type of storytelling that engages and converts. So I created my own framework. And now when I go to events, I print this out, I laminate it, and I hand it out to people at the events. And I teach off of it at events. So what am I telling you? What I'm telling you is you want to create your own version of something like this because this is my framework. See, I could show this to all of you, but I'm not worried about anybody stealing my framework. Why? Because nobody could teach it like I could teach it, baby. Ain't nobody got it like I got it. And nobody got it like you got it in terms of what you do. So create your own frameworks so that when you go to events, when you meet with clients, you have something that makes you look like an authority because only authorities have frameworks. So this is my framework called the Ultimate Storytelling Formula. And what this is the 7 C's. It's the foundations of a great story. Now, what I did is I took it up a level. On the back of each of these is a worksheet that once again, it's laminated. So I give it to somebody and then they can do the worksheet on the back to help them implement what they see on the other side. So that's one example. Okay, well, once you know the fundamentals of a great story, you know the basics, you know the principles, you know the 7 C's, well, now I know the fundamentals of a story. Now I know the basics. Well, the next obvious question is, well, Devin, how do I find stories to tell? So I created a framework outlining 6 ways that you can find stories to tell. So as you'll see, as I go through my different frameworks, they build on one another because each framework creates a new problem. Hence, finding stories to tell. What was the problem in the first one? The problem was, well, Devin, I got the foundations, but now I don't have any stories to tell. Okay, no problem. Now I'm going to provide you with the framework that's going to show you how to tell or where to find stories to tell. Well, Devin, the question is now, I know where to find stories, but Devin, I have all of these different stories. How do I know which one to tell? Fix my hair. What's going on here? All right. So that brings me to my third framework, which is not in here. Where did it go? Where did my third framework go? I'm going to add this. Give me 1 second here, folks. Here we go. So here's the third framework. How to choose which story to tell. And I walk you through step by step my process. Once again, at events, I teach off of this. I bring groups together. I hand it out to people, and they'll never forget me. Okay, Devin, well, now I know which story to tell. Then that leads me to the final step is now I know which story to tell. How do I package it into a message that is worth listening to and a message that people will pay me for? And then we go to structuring your message. Because we don't just share stories to share stories. We share stories to create a powerful message that will engage the audience and get them to a place where they desire what we're offering. So what did I do? I created my framework for structuring your message, step by step, giving everybody the answers for free. Why? Because it is awesome. First off, like how cool is this to have laminated? You could bring it with you places, give to people. It's really awesome stuff. So, really short video, but I created this. Why? Because I want to encourage you to begin creating your frameworks. See, nobody else has these frameworks. This is my unique selling proposition. This is my USP. This is what I call my subconscious story selling framework that nobody else can steal, baby. Why? Because it's mine. And even if people did try to steal it, they can't deliver it like me, baby. And nobody can deliver it like you. So be you, show up authentically. Remember, authenticity is nothing more than being more of who you already are within appropriate boundaries. Okay, so that's a topic for another time. But create your frameworks, and this is how I start them. I wanted to outline this for you, show you how I begin the process. Okay, so what you saw was a completed version of a framework. Here's another framework I'm currently working on. It's called my belief shifting framework. And it looks messy, it looks yucky, but guess what? This is going to be turned into something pretty like this. But you have to start here. Get your frameworks down. And as you can see, I label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I go and create my pretty looking framework that I laminate, I bring to events, I network with, I give to people, and they love me. And it's all my content. See, here's the thing you don't know. This right here, this could take me 4 hours to teach. This right here could take me at least 6 hours to teach. This right here could take me at least 6 hours to teach. So you see a one-sided piece of laminated paper, but I see about 24 hours of content because it's my framework. So go out, create your frameworks. Hope that this was helpful. Encourage somebody to go out there and create some frameworks. This has changed my game. Hopefully it will change